Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Alps Panorama at the Northern Sea here in Farming Simulator 19. And yeah, okay, so I gotta sit down and do a little bit of maths to work that one out, because the 28th month, they're surely referring to, well, the 28th month of 2020 is technically going to be the 4th month of 2022. So I would assume that that's what they're actually referring to, is that they mean April 2022. But yeah, okay, that's just literally where my mind takes me. I get sidetracked a little bit. Dates for me are very important, like that it's got to be written in full, but it's the same with a lot of other abbreviations. Right? I very, very rarely actually use the abbreviation or write the abbreviation. I write it in full, and I don't like writing or using abbreviations. I don't know why, it really bugs me. So yes, I do very occasionally say TMR. Normally TMR just feels wrong to me. It genuinely feels wrong, which is why I say total mixed ration. And frequently I'll say it over and over. It's total mixed ration this, total mixed ration that, total mixed ration the other. We want to make the total mixed ration, and we've got to mix up the total mixed ration. Occasionally you will find me saying TMR a few times. That's because I'm consciously trying to make an effort to use, you know, to fit in with the crowd. That's what I'm doing. I am actually consciously trying to fit in with the crowd and do the same as what everybody else does and use the abbreviation. But I don't like it. It does not sit well with me. I'm not one for the abbreviations, except for the whole LOL, and LMAO and ones like that. The text abbreviations, those I will use, but whenever I write them down, and I will actually write them down, but when I use them, I don't, like, I know a lot of people that will actually just say LOL or LOL in their head, or OMG, and they will read it as OMG or LOL, and then carry on regardless. I never do that. Ever do that. In my head, when I read it back, I always read what the acronym stands for. And I do this with everything. If I'm surfing the internet, I'm reading an article, and there is an acronym and I do not understand what it's short for, and I'm not actually sure what it's short for, I will go and look it up, and I will memorize it, and I will say it to myself in full every single time it crops up in an article. Right? Every single time. Like PETA, for example. If I read anything with PETA, I will... It's the... And see, now I can't actually remember what they fully stand for, because I tend to disagree with a lot of what they do. Hang on, let me switch that over. But it's the ethical treatment of animals. Something, people's ethical treatment. See, I can never remember what the P stands for. But then I have to go and look it up. I have to go and look it up, find out what that P stands for, because otherwise it's going to bug me. I'm going to be left there not remembering what it is, and it's going to make me want to cry. Have you noticed that they will actually stop for the tractor, but he didn't stop for the trailer then? Right? He tried to take me out there. That was a savage move. Tried to take me out right there. Got 31,500 as transferred. And down there, we're approaching 400,000 litres of silage, grass silage in the bulk material. It's doing very nicely. I'm very pleased with that. Let me hop skip back into here. And that one can keep going out towards the field. He's going to go and do his thing. And I'm going to go and get another load. I don't know how much silage we've got left. But we can keep working this a little bit. We can bring a little bit more over. And then we want to get some of those bales, and we want to get some of them loaded in as well. So I'll bring you in round this way. Surely I can't have that much left in here now. What have I got? 239,000. It's going to be that is a few loads for this trailer. The other trailer, it's literally 3 loads left. That's all we got. I'll lower you down like that, and then bring that one in. So yeah, there's I was asked the question as to why I very, very rarely say TMR, and I'm always saying total mixed ration. That's why. It's kind of an OCD like thing associated with my autism, I believe. I don't know exactly why. All I know is that it really bugs me. So I that's what I tend to do. I tend to always. Well, I don't use abbreviations. I don't really like them. And I couldn't tell you why. I just that it bugs me. That's all I can say is it bugs me. Like the date on something. It does bug me. Seeing a date not written in full. I mean, I've gotten better. It doesn't, like, cause me physical pain or anything. I don't feel the need to run around and correct it, although I know some people that are actually that bad. So unfortunately, I don't feel the need to have to go around and physically correct the things each time, but it still does bug me. If I see the date written out, it does bug me, and that's the big thing with the US style of dates, because you guys don't say the 3rd of March, do you? You say March 3rd. And just the way you're saying it, and I always know when I'm reading an article that is written by a US reporter, because you'll say it'll be written out. We would say something happened on the 3rd of March, and some reporters won't put the 3rd of March, but it's how we'd say it when you're reading it. So it happened on the 3rd of March. The US style would be so and so happened March 3rd, not on March the 3rd, just March 3rd or March 3 or you know, however it is you say it. But it's and then also the day of the week. They're referring to the day of the week. You know, so and so happened on Sunday. Whereas if it's a US reporter, it's something happened Sunday. And I don't know. It just feels incomplete. I read it, and then I literally want to get a red pen and correct it, because it feels incomplete. It feels like only half the sentence has been written out, and it genuinely feels incomplete. But the whole March the 3rd thing, whereas we say the 3rd of March, that's I don't know where that's come from. Right? I know, like, I like to look into the reasons why we do different things, and for example, the reason why so many words in the US have less letters in them than they do in the English. In US English, you have a lot less letters being used in a lot of words than we do in English. Like colour, flavour, all of those kinds of words, for example, where colour for me is C-O-L-O-U-R, and that is how I spell. And I always use English spellings when I'm doing time lapses, subtitles, anything like that. But US, you guys, it's C-O-L-O-R, one letter less. And I didn't really know why. I'd heard various theories about how it was a getting away from Imperial England, and you know, doing things your own way, and being independent, and separating yourselves from the UK, and so on, dating back to independence. Those were sort of a lot of the theories that I'd heard bandied around. Turns out that's absolute nonsense. It's nothing to do with that. The reason that the US language cuts out a lot of letters in a lot of words is money. It's purely down to money. It's down to capitalism. Capitalism is what has shaped your language, ladies and gentlemen. Whereas when the telegraph started, well, back in the days when the telegraph, not when it started, but when the telegraph was the big means of communication around the world, yeah? Before we had, well, anything else, before telephones were like really big, it was all about the telegraph. You had your telegrams, your telegraph. That was the big thing. That was what you got. And the UK and a lot of the world charged by the word, right? Your thing was always charged by the word, and that was just the way it was done. Whereas in the US, it was charged by the letter. And because it was charged by the letter, everybody started abbreviating everything. Right? You started dropping out anything you could in order to try to save a few pennies. And that's where it came from. Color, instead of C-O-L-O-U-R, very quickly dropped that extra U on the end. Armor, flavor, all of those. Very quickly dropped the U because you didn't need it to be able to understand what people were saying. You don't need that extra letter in there to be able to understand fully what people are saying. And so, of course, you will realize this and very quickly dropped any unnecessary lettering anywhere in your language. And that is why you have the words spelt differently now. Almost every single spelling difference between the UK and the US is the US having a shorter version of the same word. Almost every single one of them. There are a few exceptions to that, but almost every single one of them, different spellings are because the word that you use is shorter than the word that we use. The reason for that is capitalism. Is because it was cheaper for you. You were charged by the letter, we were charged by the word. So for us, it didn't matter. If we had been charged by the word, then yeah, we almost definitely would have gone exactly the same way and our languages would be identical. But we weren't. We were charged by the word. I don't know why that was the case, but yeah, it was however many words, yeah, I don't know exactly the reasons for it. I don't know exactly the reasons for it. But that is what shaped your language, people from the US. Those of you who didn't realize, capitalism made your language the way it is right now. It wasn't trying to get away from British imperialism or anything like that. It wasn't sticking two fingers up to the old colonial rule or anything. It was simply a way to save money. That was all it was. It was a way to save money. And I think that's a really awesome thing. Like, that something so simple, being charged by the letter for telegrams rather than being charged by the word, is a really small, simple little thing, isn't it? That, if you think about it, in the grand scheme of the world, that is a really small and relatively... it's a small and almost unimportant detail, right? It's almost inconsequential, such a small and unimportant detail. However, that detail is the reason that you've got so many differences between your language and our language. And I've often heard it said, but then it's not just referring to how it's written, but I have often heard the expression the UK and the US are two nations divided by the same language, and that's part of the reason. So yeah, it's actually quite fascinating when you really look into the causes of some of these things. I'm looking for my bale spike. Where is that one gone? Does anybody remember where I left the bale spike? It's kind of important that I find that one now, because I need it to shove bales into the machiney over here. Oh, there, I left it right next to the machine over there. Right. Well, I don't actually need to go anywhere else with it. So if I run over here a second and I grab said bale spike, like that. There we go. I'll stop you like that. Then I want to go not to you. I want to go to you and... I've got the trailer on. Yes, I have got the trailer on. I want to go to you, and then I want to go out this way. Actually, I'm going to go around the tree like this, and we're going to start gathering up some of these bales. What I am going to also do is I'm going to quickly flick over to this one and take a look. How are we doing? Just about, you have now just loaded up another load. Oh no, he's just about to finish loading up another load. I'm just going to have a drink a minute. Yes, he's on his way back through. And we are going to run in through here, and we're going to load up these bales. I want to actually try and get as much of the hay in as I can, and get that loaded into the thingy over there. What am I looking for? I'm looking... we're already on large square bales. Turn the work mode on, and then take you in over this way like this, pulling you in as tight as I can to those bales. I'll reverse in, I think, for the next lot. I've got these sticking out here a little bit. Right, I didn't pick up anywhere near as many as I was hoping. Said I was going to reverse in, and here I am driving right in. That's at least... No, that's not going to get me very much, actually. And what that is going to end up doing is going to end up getting me horribly stuck if I can't back out properly. Can I turn this one round, reversing? Here's a challenge. It's a lot easier with this tractor. Right? Doing the reversing with this tractor is a lot easier than with any of the other tractors. Actually, I need to bring you round a bit more. Like that. I guess we'll have to... We'll go this way. We'll pretend that I intended to do it over on this side of the stanchion there. I'm going to bring it in. There we go. Mostly bringing straw on, but I've managed to do it. We have got that loaded on. There we go. There is that load right there. I'm not going to bother unloading them. I'm not going to bother doing anything particularly fancy. All I'm going to do is I'm going to bring them down over to here, and I'm going to unload the trailer load right there. So I will swap it out onto that side, and I'll dump it there. And then I will pull forward, and I will start doing some work with the load all. Go and grab this one. Many an hour I have spent driving this one. When I was playing FS19 on my own map, I had a lot of cows. Alright, that was one thing I did have a lot of. When I had all of the animals. I had all of the animals I could have, which was cows and sheep. Chickens were kind of a bit of an afterthought. They were there, but you didn't really do a lot with them. But no, when I was doing stuff with the cows, though... if I take the bale off... what I had was I had the bales... hay bales and straw bales in a large stack near the cattle pens, and also another large stack of hay near the sheep pens. And then I had a special auto-loading mixer wagon. It's a big mixer wagon like the one I got over here, except that it took 1,000,000 litres instead of just 60,000 litres. And the 1,000,000 litre mixing wagon, I would use that one to put all of the cattle feed in, but it was auto-loading, and I would be able to load a set number of bales with it as well. I could choose how many bales I loaded in, so I would auto-load a set number in of one lot, and then I would auto-load in another lot of the straw, and then I would load in a big load of silage at the end. The silage, you do sort of the normal way that you would do silage, but you could choose how many bales. I think I had to press the... Actually, that's what it was. It didn't just auto-load and like automatically throw them in. You had to load each bale one at a time. So all I would do is I would press a button to load in a bale. And I had it so that the stacks of straw and the stacks of hay were right next to each other. And you press one button to load a bale of straw, and you press another button to load a bale of hay, which was brilliant. It was such a wonderful, wonderful machine. And I altered the capacity of it to, I think, 100,000 litres or something like that. And let me just close those onto there. 100,000 litres of straw, 100,000 litres total capacity, and then I would load up with straw, load up with hay, and then dump in all of the straw that I needed, all the silage, sorry, as well. Take that straight from the clamp, because that had that auto load thing from the clamp. Not auto load, you know the front loading thing, the self-propelled loader thing that we use, that we've got in the game, the standard game thing. And I would use that one. That was the one that I used. So that I would load, the silage would be easy to load. That would just be to top it up. And then I'd have 100,000 litres of feed that I would go and dump in for my cows. And it was beautifully easy. It was beautifully, beautifully easy. And I could just keep doing that over and over until I had all of my cows fed. I tried to run about 1,000 cows. You had in FS13 an actual milk tanker that drove around and came along and collected your milk for you. And that was a really cool thing. I do miss that being a thing. You don't have that anymore now. You don't physically see the milk tanker driving along the road, because you could block him. you could actually stop him from being able to travel, and he wouldn't unload your milk for a little while, and then your milk would gather up and you'd have a big load of it. And I always quite liked the idea that you could actually physically stop the milk tanker from getting to your farm if you weren't careful. It wouldn't, like, you had to do it with a tractor, I think. I can't remember exactly how it worked, but there was a way to, like, block him a little bit if you really wanted to. And you could also do it with running the time scale, so that you had a much bigger sale price, like the following day. There were little things that you could do to, like, just mess around with your gameplay a bit, which was fun. It was loads and loads of fun. I really did enjoy, like, some of the different things. And yes, there's been some absolutely wonderful improvements with gameplay in this game, but there are some things that I do miss from the good old days back when I was playing then. Okay, I want to swap that one over to there and bring that round. That being said, there were some serious annoyances with that game. There were some major horrific annoyances with FS13. In particular, when you wanted to enlarge a field, I want to go that way because I want to check on this one. You wanted to enlarge a field, that wasn't going to happen. Sorry, sunshine, that was not going to happen. Okay, you have reached your end point. I'm going to go there, and I'm going to go there, and I'm going to stop the driver. I'm going to clear those courses. I'm not going to worry too much about the stuff that is left on the ground. There is a little bit that is left on the ground. I will go and get some of the thicker rows over here, but most of it we can just gather up like this. There's that row that is running there up across the field. This one here is a bit thicker. And then there's that row there. There's quite a bit. So we'll grab that as well. Yeah, there's quite a lot on that one. That one... Yeah, I really don't get what happened with this. It drove out there and it did that little bit. And it went and did a few weird bits down by the pond as well. That was some more very strange weirdness. And beyond that, I have absolutely no clue. Right, none of it makes any sense. What actually happened here. I really don't know. So there was some horrible glitch that happened to it somewhere deep within the internal gubbinses of the computer. I don't really know where and why. It is not for us to reason why. It's just for us to do. And then something else. Although we won't be doing something else. We're just gonna do. We're just gonna do this bit, and that's it. We're not General Custer. And we will bring you in around here like this. Missing most of it, naturally. And we've got that row there that I do want to get. Because that, most of it has actually been... It did pick up a good chunk of the row. But it didn't pick all of it up. So I will gather the rest of it. And then we will whiz round. And we will do another gathering. Down through here. And then we will do a final gathering with just that bit. You know, the rest of it I'm going to leave. Alright, we've done so much here. We've got so much over in storage. We've also got loads of the stuff ready anyway. Like, it's not like we have a shortage. And I would like to progress the year on round. I would like to do some more progression of the year on round. We've got so many other things that we need to do. I got crops I need to harvest. We've got $220,000. We should hopefully get a bit more than that with the combine. Well, if we can get another combine running, that would be great. I'm going to run 2 of those combines because those are the ones that I'm going to be making and saving courses for. So I know that the spout being a lot longer than the standard combine is proving to be difficult, but I don't think it's going to be the end of the world. Now, this tractor is leased, isn't it? I'm going to stop you there. I'm not going to do anything with you. I will take you... Oh, no, it's okay. We've got no grass left out in the open, anything like that. We've got nothing that's going to spoil. So we can start fast-forwarding time. I'm going to take this trailer right here, or this set of trailers, and we're going to go around and we're going to put grain in for these. I'm going to switch there over there, and then that one's going to go in. It's going to tip a little bit of grain in for the chickens. We don't need to worry about water. anymore. Water is no longer an issue. And all I got to do now is drive over to the pigs. There we go. Milk magnate, breed 20 cows. Right. Well, that's because we are currently doing our calving. And we've definitely bred a lot more than 20 cows. I know that. Right. Tip you out there. And then I'm going to switch over to you. And I want to tip you out. I like how it's actually got the button. Although I don't know which button it's telling me to do. But I like how it's bringing up the button. Like it's saying button 4 for tip. Now, I don't know what the numbers... I'm assuming that I've mapped it to button 4 on my controller. On my steering wheel. And that's why it's telling me button 4. I'm just making that assumption on there. I like how it's coming up and telling me now in the tooltip, because it wasn't doing that before. I don't know if that's well, I don't know, actually. Is that a new thing or not? Is that like something it's new and different, or is that just something that I've not really noticed before? It might be just that one. It might be just because it's decided on that one, but I know that I've got... keyboard buttons to do exactly the same thing, so I don't really know why it's ordering me to do it with that particular one, but there we go. It is ordering me to do it with that particular one. Now you're going to go whizzing around here so that we can put a bit of straw in for the pigs, like this. I got quite a bit of straw in here, but the pigs are also going to need quite a bit of straw. We're down to just 5%. I think we will actually... We'll back this one up over here, like this. We've not got very much hay left to go back in, but we'll leave that one there. And then we'll go and get our telehandler. Pink progress, breed 50 pigs. That wants to go as well. And those bales of hay right there, I'm hoping I can bulldoze the lot straight into the feeder. Into the feeder, straight into the mixer. That's what I'd like to do right now. Is I want to shove that lot right in there. Not the easiest thing to do, but I am moving. Yes! It's moving! We are doing it! Look at our strength! And then it's suddenly going to start moving faster as the bales actually jump in there. This is what I'm hoping. I'm going to slow time down now and leave it on one scale. There we go. Now we're going faster. Jumped up a bit. Jumped up a bit more. And then those into there. And boom. Excellent. Alright, that worked out quite well, actually. There. Okay, so I've now got loads of straw. I've got loads of hay in there. We've got a little bit of hay left over this side. I'm going to grab as many bales as I can from here. We've got a bale of hay stuck up in the air over there, which I'm going to just shove up like that. And then I'm going to go, apparently, swing the thing round like that, which I didn't intend to do. Dump you down like that. Because I don't want to grab you there. What I want to do is I want to grab these 6 bales over here. And go in there like that. And I want to close those. There, get 48,000 bales. 48,000 bales. 48,000 litres of straw. Tilt you back like that. Go ever so slowly. Bring you in round over this way, and we will lift this up, and we will dump it into the pecan mixer, and then we're going to go straight through and skip the night, I think, after I put these into here. Well, that's about all we've got time for in today's episode, so we're going to go and take a little bit of a break. We need to chill out on the beach, relax, and build up some strength. So while we're doing that, if you've enjoyed the episode, then could you please head down below and give us a like? And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.